What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Target MMA. I'm your host, Rob. I'm here to give you my picks, predictions, and a betting breakdown for UFC 329. Conor McGregor taking on Max Holloway. I can't believe Conor's back. This is going to be an amazing fight card. Let's get into the breakdown. First up on UFC 329, we have a flyweight bout. Cody Durden taking on Alessandro Costa. Alessandro Costa is showing up on short notice, but in his Instagram, I saw him live the other day with Diego Lopez. He looks in incredible shape. He looks like he's ready to go. Didn't skip a beat. Now, let's talk about him a little bit. He's a BJJ boxer. He doesn't usually use his takedowns too often. He likes to throw combinations. He's a bit patient. He'll snap some leg kicks. He'll try to get into close range and then wing punches. Now, he does have a high guard, which opens him up to jabs. And we saw that against Steve Erceg, where his guard was being split every single time. Straight down the pipe jabs or straight straight punches. Now, he does slip and roll with his punches. He'll come in, throw a left hook, right hook, and he'll throw in combinations, as I said, but he rolls with it like a boxer would. He has decent head movement. He's pretty dangerous with his hands. He has a few knockouts on his record. To be specific, he has 7 out of his 16 wins by knockout, 6 submissions. So he's dangerous on the feet and on the ground. Now, he is an optimistic grappler. He doesn't always look for it, but if he has you rocked, he's not going to just take you to the ground and start ground and pounding. He wants to get you out of there with a Darce choke or a guillotine. He has questionable fight IQ because in that fight against Steve Erceg, he had him hurt. He had Steve Erceg hurt quite a few times. And what did he do? He followed him to the ground, and he was not the better wrestler. And that's concerning because he's going up against a wrestler, Cody Durden. Cody Durden is 18-10 in his professional career, 6 knockout wins, 6 submissions. He's 6'6" across the board. But the difference in the striking is that Durden likes to swing wild with punches, and that high guard is always going to block those punches. And another problem is, although Durden likes to be quick on his feet, he likes to be in and out, he gets hit a lot. And his head is always on center line. He's not moving his head. He gets hit and he gets dropped. Even though he only has 2 KO losses on his career. He got knocked out by Jose Ochoa and Bruno Silva, who are staples in this division. You know, flyweights don't have the most power, but he fought against the guys that do, and he got dropped. And now he's fighting against another heavy-handed fighter that might knock him out here. He does like to come forward with a folk-style wrestling, meaning he's going to come forward and shoot double legs. And I think Costa's going to be able to stuff those takedowns. He has an 83% takedown defense. And it's going to come in handy here. And I think when Cody does come in and swing wild, I think Costa is going to slip. He's going to roll. He's going to throw in those combinations. And he's going to get Cody Durden out of there. Maybe in the first round. So when those props drop, I'm probably leaning by knockout here. So look towards the end of the week when I drop those props, because I think Costa's going to be one to look for. Although he's showing up on short notice, it shouldn't be a problem here. Let's go Alessandro Costa for the win. Next up, we have a couple of middleweights here. We have Zachary REESE taking on Ryan Gandra. Ryan Gandra is making his sophomore appearance after just running through Medina. He is 9-1 in his professional career, pretty much getting through everybody in the first round. He is a heavy-handed boxer who's going to swing from his hips, and he is going to be the younger fighter here, but not much, by a year. He's going to be shorter. He's going to have the less reach. And we watched in, I think it was Luis Fabiano fight where he was taken down. I'm sorry, he was a takedowns were attempted on him, and he stuffed them. He has good takedown defense, but more from like folk style wrestlers, people that are going to come forward and try to shoot double legs, single legs, picks. But he gassed out. When he couldn't get Fabiano out there the first round, you could see his arms were heavier every second that passed. He couldn't even lift his arms. He looked very sluggish. Now he's going against Reese, who he's going to have a 2.5-inch reach advantage. He is a kickboxer with some BJJ, and you can see when he's in trouble, he will go in for the clinch. He will throw people. He will slam people. He is a heavy-handed kickboxer. He will kick. He will use teeps. Now, we saw him in the Jackson McVeigh fight where he was in a lot of trouble, and I actually picked McVeigh in that fight, but he managed to stay safe. He was durable, and he eventually got McVeigh out of there with a submission. So I think that's going to happen again here. I think Gandra is going to swing very heavy. He's going to try to get Reese out of there in the first round, and it may not work because Reese is the bigger fighter. He's more elusive, and I think Reese gets him out of there. I don't believe a submission, but I think when Gandra slows down, I think Reese might be able to knock him out. The pick is the underdog here, plus 160. Give me Zachary Reese. Next up on UFC 329, we have another middleweight bout. We have Damian Pinas taking over Cesar Almeida. Damian is 9-1 in his professional career. He is the minus 200 favorite here. He's a striker, and he's enjoying a 14-year age gap here and a 5.5-inch reach advantage. He's going to be the younger fighter. He's going to be the faster fighter, and he also has that true one-punch knockout power. Now, my issue here with Pinas is the linear style that he has. He has that 1-2. That's what he has. He has a 1-2. Every knockout I've watched, he goes 1-2. Okay? But he's knocking everybody out with it. I mean, I can't be mad at him. It's just that it seems a little too basic, you know? But he has good BJJ to get back to his feet. He has good takedown defense. He likes to use his feints to try to close the distance. He is looking for that one-punch knockout. Now he's going against Cesar Almeida, who is a kickboxer. He is 7-2 in his professional career. He's coming off of that loss to CESAR Olajaychuk. Now, he, like I said, he has never been finished in his professional career, so it's going to be a little difficult to pick Pinas here because what does he have other than that power? I don't know. I don't think many of us do because personally, let's look at Damian real quick. He has a first round knockout, first round knockout, first round knockout, first round knockout, second round knockout, disqualification, first round knockout, first round submission, first, you know? Need I say more? We don't know what he has outside of that power. And as far as somebody that's never been knocked out before, but now also, if you want to run down who Almeida has fought, he has fought Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, who has good power too, dropped Almeida in that fight. And he also has fought a Roman Kopylov, who has good power as well. These guys are powerful strikers in the middleweight division. Almeida has to compete with those guys, and he was able to. His chin took the task. Now, Cesar, on the other hand, real quick, he's a plus 165. He has good power, but he likes to use his kicks an awful lot, which could come in handy here because if Pinas can't get him out of there and he's just kicking away, he's going to cause some damage to the front leg. He is very technical. He has good counters. Now, the type of power that Pinas has, the speed advantage that he has. Add all that together to zero head movement for Almeida. Every time I'm watching him, he's just not moving his head. The other guys, Peteria was striking with him, and he's just like, well, not all the way. He's like back. No. But he's back, right? He's not moving his head too much. And that gives me pause. This guy got a 5.5-inch reach advantage on you, and he's the faster fighter. I'm leaning Pinas here. He might be the first person to put Almeida away. But if it gets past the first round, if that power starts to fade, it's effortless power, by the way. He doesn't really have to put too much into it like a GANDRA. GANDRA's swinging. This man just, boop, drops you. Pick his Pinas, but I am putting a little caution on this fight. Next up, we have a ladies fight in the women's flyweight division. We have TRACY Cortez taking on WANG KONG. TRACY Cortez is a staple in this division. She's 12-3 in her professional career. She has a 65.5-inch reach, and she's a wrestler. Now, she's taking on a striker who has a 1/2 inch reach advantage. Not much. Now, and WANG KONG, she's 9-1 in her professional career. She was only submitted once, or she only lost once, but it was by submission, where she was dropped and then strangled. So we don't really know much about what her takedown defense looks like. But I can tell you she's always moving. She has good head movement. She uses feints, and she's very technical when she's striking. She'll utilize leg kicks, and she has some good power. And you can see that she has great balance when people are clinching with her. Now, as far as TRACY Cortez, she likes to use boxing to level change into her folk style wrestling. She has decent boxing. I won't say it's the best, but I think it'll be enough to get this fight done. She is a slight dog, and I'm leaning towards Cortez by decision. I think she's going to have more pressure. And also, she hasn't been finished by knockout before. She has been submitted. I'll give her that. She has been submitted. WANG KONG has 2 submissions on her belt, but it's not really her bread and butter. She likes to keep it on the feet. I think Cortez can take her down. I think she can hold her down, probably for a unanimous decision. Next up on UFC 329, we have undefeated prospect Luke Riley taking on KAMAKA III. Luke Riley, he is 27 years old. He's 5'9" with a 69-inch reach. He is the minus 340. He's a good striker. He has good boxing, good combinations, good power that he holds for 3 rounds. Now, he has really, really fast hands, but he also has a lot of power to go with those hands. He can be taken down, and we saw in the Tyrell Abasov fight where he was consistently taken down before he got the finish. His get-up game is a little weak. I am concerned for him if he is going against a wrestler in the future that has a decent enough chin to weather the storm of Riley and take him down. But he doesn't have to worry about that here because he's going against KAMAKA. KAMAKA does have a wrestling base, but he's primarily a boxer. He's 18-7 in his professional career. He's flipped between PFL, Bellator, UFC. He's fought everywhere. Now, they have equal reach. He is slightly older. He's 31 years old. He's the plus 250 underdog. Now, he has a nice fast jab. He has a good, clean left hook, check left hook. He's very technical, but he's pretty low volume. He's flat-footed. He's not as well-rounded as we thought he could be. And he can be taken down, although he doesn't have to worry about that here. The pick is going to be Luke Riley by either knockout or decision. Leaning more towards knockout because we've seen KAMAKA knocked out before. He has 2 out of his 7 losses by knockout. But he hasn't been knocked out in a while. His last knockout loss was back in 2020 against Jonathan Pierce, where he was flattened out and just barraged with strikes. Yeah, I think Luke Riley gets this done 100%. High confidence pick. Next up, we have the bantamweight division. We have CODY No Love Garbrandt taking on ADRIAN YANAZ. CODY Garbrandt, he's 15-7, and he is a boxer. He's going to be the plus 310 underdog here. He does have a wrestling background, which is nice to see, but I don't think this is going to go to the ground. This is going to be a boxing match, basically. They're both boxers. One is going to enjoy a nice 4.5 reach advantage, and you gotta lean Giannis here. Garbrandt has nice level changes if he wants to wrestle. I could see him getting clipped and then going for the wrestling, but that's not going to be a problem for Giannis. CODY will clinch and he will throw you to the ground. He's not really going to shoot double legs. ADRIAN YANAZ, 17-6 in his professional career. He has a 70-inch reach. Now, both of these guys have been knocked out before. That's something to note. Garbrandt, he's a little more patient. He's a lot more technical. You could see the faster hands coming from Giannis. He's very light on his feet, but the problem with him is he doesn't have much head movement. So that's a little concerning when he's in the pocket. He doesn't have head movement because Garbrandt has power in his hands. He's knocked people out with one punch. Now, it's concerning again because Giannis could be hittable, but he has good power in his own right. Now, he has nasty hooks. If he does get in there, he might be able to put CODY out. I think minus 440 is a little too wide. I could see this being a lot closer. Maybe 2-1. But the lean is going to be ADRIAN YANAZ. He may be a slightly younger fighter here, but he has the reach advantage, and he could use that. I just hope he doesn't get sucked into a brawl with CODY, and then CODY could put his lights out. I can see by decision. I can see them feeling each other out the first round. I believe it will be a 2.5 round line. But Giannis, probably by decision here. Next up, we have a couple of big boys here. We have Gable Steveson taking on Elijah Ellison. This is Gable's UFC debut, Ellison's sophomore debut. But it should be a squash match. It should be Gable Steveson just running through Elijah, and he's a minus 2,500 for a reason. This man is a wrestler with high level experience. He's a freestyle wrestler at that, and he has power in his hands. We have seen him windmill punches and just, well, not like that, but you know, I'm not a professional fighter here, so if it didn't show, I'm only talking about it. Now, he has uses bombing overhands, and he has knocked people out before, but that's not his bread and butter. He will use some leg kicks. He's going to snap your leg, and he's going to come forward, take you down, a couple of double legs, and he's going to get some ground and pound finishes. And he has good control when he's on top, don't get me wrong. But he's going against Elijah, who is primarily a striker. He has used his wrestling before, and he has power in his own right, but he's 5-2. He's on his second fight in the UFC after losing to Brando Pericic, which is not a bad loss. But his hands are pretty low, and he likes to swing from the hips. So his hands being low might be able to help him with some takedowns. But he's also very heavy on his front leg, and you could see that in one of his last fights, that he steps forward a lot of weight. And if Gable's going to snap his leg kicks like he normally does, he's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him bad. Gable Steveson from first round knockout, by first round knockout, sounds the most appropriate here. I wouldn't touch it otherwise. I mean, minus 2,500, unless you're putting $2,500 to make $100 on him, that's a lot of degeneracy right there. But nonetheless, Gable Steveson by finish is the most appropriate. Next up, on UFC 329, we have Robert Whittaker taking on Nikita KRYLOV, up in weight. I just saw this, and I initially was going to pick Robert Whittaker because I thought that he was going to have some power, he's going to have some advantages, but going up in weight 20 pounds is significant, especially against a grappler like Nikita KRYLOV. Nikita KRYLOV is a very dangerous grappler. He's 31-11, and if you look at his history, 13 TKOs, 16 submissions. Now, if I look back at my notes of watching him, he's pretty light on the feet. He has a nice flowing style, and he wants to use his leg kicks to close the distance. And he has some power in his hands, don't get me wrong, but that's not his bread and butter. He wants to get the clinch, and he wants to take you down because he's dangerous on the ground. But he's also dangerous on the feet. Now, the one thing I noticed is he does leave his chin very high up in the air, so jabs can connect, and that's also what Whittaker does. He has this this left jab and left hook that has good power, and Nikita has this weird I don't want to say style, but when he shoots a low kick, when he kicks forward, he keeps his hands low. He drops that side. So if he's shooting with his left, he's gonna drop his left hand, leaving him exposed. That's how he's been knocked out before. Now, if Whittaker can utilize that, time it correctly, because he's very good. He has a very good fight IQ, good high fight IQ. And looking back at the notes, you can see that he was stuffing takedowns in his last fight against RDR. It was very hard to be taken down, especially by the bigger fighter. He has fast jabs and he can wrestle, but that wouldn't be wise here. I don't think that would be a good idea for somebody as dangerous as Nikita. He has good footwork, and both of these guys are staples in the UFC. They've fought the who's who between Yoel Alvarez and Glover Teixeira. It's very interesting. Initially, like I said, I wanted Whittaker, but I didn't realize that this was up in weight, and that gave me tremendous pause here. I'm gonna go with Nikita KRYLOV. I think his chin was a little suspect. You know, he got knocked out when he returned in 2025 against Reyes, then knocked out against Guskov, but these are dangerous strikers. Not saying Whittaker's not, but out of his 26 wins, he has 10 TKOs. He's not the biggest power puncher. He has one punch knockouts in his history, but when KRYLOV went against Modestas Bukauskas, his chin held up to the task. Give me the grappler with the 4-inch reach advantage, the 3-inch height advantage, the more dangerous on the ground. I'm gonna go with Nikita KRYLOV as the underdog, mostly because it's up in weight. He's natural light heavyweight. Yep. Next up, in the lightweight division, we have Terrence McKinney taking on Bobby King Green. Terrence McKinney is 18-8 in his professional career. He's the favorite here. He's a -160. He's traditionally a wrestler, but he has heavy hands, and he could submit you. He can get it done on the feet or on the ground, because he's not going to a decision. This fight will not go to a decision, because that's just not who he is. He's a live by the sword, die by the sword kind of fighter, and I'm here for it. He is one of my favorite fighters. He's taking on Bobby King Green, who is 35-17 in his professional career. He's going to be the older fighter. He's going to have, they're going to be the same height. He's going to have a less reach advantage, less reach by 2 inches, and an 8-year age gap. But you see he has a resurgence in his career. He's won the last 3 fights. He was knocked out by Rufy. He was submitted by Patty. But he's been finishing. He finished Jeremy Stevens by submission in his last fight. Knocked out Daniel Zellhuber, but Zellhuber is not who they said he was. And he went to a split decision, with Lance Gibson Jr. The pick is Terrence McKinney. All day, every day, Terrence is going to either knock him out or submit him. I I can see it not going very far because also Terrence McKinney will blitz forward and swing with almost reckless abandonment. And Bobby Green has his hands down. But you could see Bobby, he likes to come forward with his hands low because he bullies people. He's not bullying Terrence here. Terrence is going to run at him. It's going to be over in the first round. If it leaves the first round, I will be surprised. The pick is Terrence McKinney. Bobby is not defensively sound enough. You're getting submitted by Bobby. You get not by Bobby, by Patty. You're getting knocked out by Roofy. Those are quality. Don't get me wrong. The last time he was knocked out in 2023 against Jalen Turner. These are quality, you know. But still, nonetheless, 9 out of 17 by finish. He's been getting finished. So we have to go with the more dangerous, the younger, more explosive fighter here. It's Terrence T-Rex McKinney. Next up, we have a flyweight bout between Lana Kavanaugh and Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is listed as a grappler, but he's a little bit more of an opportunistic grappler. He's gotten dropped before, and he's being followed to the ground. And that's when he'll shoot up submissions, or if he's getting taken down, he'll shoot up submissions. But that's not his bread and butter. That's not what he's looking for. He's striking with you. He's trying to get you out of there. He has a wide stance, and he snaps his leg kicks pretty aggressively. He's 17-9, and when I say opportunistic grappler, he has 9 submissions out of that. Now, that tells you a lot you need to know about him. He's coming off of that knockout loss, first round against Manel Kape. And I assume this is going to be something similar because he's going against a top prospect in Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh is a Muay Thai striker with a kickboxing background. He is going to be the minus 225 favorite here. He's 10-1. The only downside I can really give you is he's a little too overconfident. And we saw that in his one and only loss. It was a knockout loss to Charles Johnson. He was winning those exchanges. He has heavy hands, snapping leg kicks. He will knock you out. He will get you out of there. He has decent cardio, and he uses great footwork to get in on the inside. And when he did that against Johnson, he started doing what he's done in other fights. I looked at his old tapes before he got into the UFC, and he starts lowering his hands. He gets a little cocky in there, smiles a little bit, because he knows he got you. He got you. And then boom, got knocked out. But, you know, maybe that will come up because he did win a unanimous decision over Brandon Moreno recently. Now, the problem is, Lana is good, and he's one of my favorite prospects coming on the rise, but he's going against Brandon Royval, who has fought the who's who in the division. He fought Pantoja twice, Schnell, Moreno, Kai Kara-France, Tim Elliott. He has fought everybody in this division. He's been at the top for a while. Now, if he decides to grapple, if he decides to clinch up with Lana, can he snatch up a submission? How good is Lana's grappling defense? We're not really sure. He fought a lot of people in his history that are not really wrestlers or grapplers. Now, Moreno, you would think that he might try to wrestle or grapple. He's listed as one, but Moreno shot 0 takedowns in that fight. Moreno, Johnson, Jose Ochoa, Felipe Dos Santos, that was a unanimous decision. But we've seen him, even he turned Johnson into a wrestler. That kind of showed you the type of power he had in that first round. And he stuffed those takedowns. Although Johnson's not a wrestler, but Kavanaugh knows what to do. He's well-rounded enough to stuff takedowns if need be. I don't think he's going to have to worry about that here. I think it's going to look similar to the Kape fight. And we're going with Lana Kavanaugh, probably by knockout or decision, but leaning the KO prop here. Next up, we have Corey Sandhagen taking on Mario Batista. Corey Sandhagen is going to be the favorite here. He's a minus 162. He's 18-6 in his professional career. He's going to have the longer reach, and he's going to be the taller man. He is a long-rangey striker that has a wide karate stance, and he'll snap out the legs to keep the range, snap out his arms to keep the range. But he's more of a volume striker. He'll use combinations, but he doesn't have too much pop on his hands to be threatening. Now, he is coming off of that loss to Merab, where he was taken down and controlled. Merab almost knocked him out here. That's concerning, because Merab doesn't really knock people out. Honestly speaking, that was a little scary. Merab has 3 TKOs out of his 21 wins. He's taken on, Corey is taking on Mario Batista, who's the dog, plus 126. Mario is 17-3 in his professional career. He's coming off that submission win over Vinicius Oliveira. I won't call that a fraud check. I will call that levels to this game, because we didn't know the ground game of Vinicius. Side note, it's the 4th of July. A lot of fireworks going off. Don't mind the background. Now, what I've noticed in Corey's, well, first off, Mario does come forward jabbing, and he'll keep pumping his jab out there, snapping leg kicks. He has a nice leg kick that might close the distance here, because, like I said, Corey is very heavy on that front leg. Now, if he can close the distance, he wants to get to that clinch. He wants to work you against the cage, take you down, and work. Now, Mario, out of his 17 wins, has 7 submissions, 3 TKOs. He is a finisher, but he'll do anything to get it done. And I didn't like him. I saw what happened with the Jose Aldo fight. Was not impressed. I was mildly irritated, not only because I bet Jose, but because the ref is pulling you off of the guy and you're clinching him against the cage, and you're going back to just clinch, but not even clinch, you're just holding him. It's like, oh, it's my job, it's his job to get him off me. Yeah, whatever. I understand that, but you're an entertainer. This is, other than fighting, this is entertainment. So the sheer fact that you're just holding the guy against the cage, yeah, you won, but you didn't win the crowd. They were booing him, and I was booing him. I didn't like Mario. That being said, I'm picking Mario, because it's a battle, it's a clash of styles, because Corey can be taken down. Although he has good takedown defense, he has the know-how of how to defend takedowns. But statistically, his past fights, he's been losing to wrestlers and grapplers. Merab, Umar, he lost to Aljamain Sterling by submission. Now, if you know anything about Aljamain, he's not a tremendous finisher. I mean, he has 8 submissions out of 26 wins, but sheesh, to get submitted by him it doesn't look good to me. But nonetheless, I'm taking the dog here in Mario Batista to get this done. Maybe by submission, or he might hold him down for 3 rounds. Win is win, I guess. Next up for our co-main event of the evening, we have Paddy the Baddy Pimblett taking on Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis is 17-3. He's 30 years old. He has a 73-inch reach, and he's a grappler. He's going to be the favorite here at minus 162. He's taking on Paddy Pimblett, fellow grappler. He's a plus 126 dog here. He's 23-4 in his professional career. He's going to be slightly older with 31 versus 30. Paddy, it's tough because I don't think Paddy's that good of a fighter. He's fun. He is an interesting character. I like watching his walkouts. He does a little like, you know, and you know, my heart picks Paddy. My brain doesn't. I can't pick Paddy here. Paddy walks very straight up. His head's up in the air. He gets hit a lot. Scousers don't get knocked out because it's being proven in every fight. He's getting hit. He's getting hit by Michael Chandler. He's being taken down by Michael Chandler. Yes, he's a Division I wrestler, but you're a grappler. You should be getting it done. He's a smaller fighter than you, and to watch Michael Chandler ragdoll him first round was insane. I'm sorry, I can't look back and see Michael Chandler, who has 1 win in the UFC, I think, right? Was he? What he beat Dan Hooker? That's sort of embarrassing for Dan Hooker. Oh, he beat Tony Ferguson too, with that infamous front leg kick. But what are we talking about here? 1, 2, 3, 4 fight losing streak. Beat Tony Ferguson. 1, 2, 3. Won his debut by knocking out Dan Hooker. But he was thrown to the wolves, I guess. Fought the best of the best. But then he goes up against Paddy Pimblett, and it's just, I'm sorry, I don't think Chandler's that good. He makes Paddy look even worse. To be able to out-wrestle Paddy round 1 and give him a run for his money, and seeing how hesitant, I want to say patient, but he looked like he was flinching to Michael Chandler. I don't want to use recency bias. I don't want to use a one-fight breakdown because I've watched all of Paddy's fights, but he just seems so hesitant on the feet. And it makes me think back when everyone picked Paddy to beat Justin Gaethje. That was crazy. I think I was the only one that picked Justin to beat him by knockout. Regardless, he has good leg kicks. He has good grappling on top and on the bottom. He's very fast. Like you see, he's low volume. He's not going to swing a lot, but when he connects, he connects. He's pretty quick. He does a lot of like underhand looping. Like it's a little weird looking, but he does have some straights. Benoit, he's a dog. If you watch that Moicano fight, he's an absolute dog. He could see out of his eye, blood gushing in his eye, and he said, "I'm not stopping." But you know, they forced him to stop at the end of round 2. He has a powerful straight, but he's also a dangerous grappler. I think he has 11 submission wins out of 17. And we've seen that showcase in the Roofy fight. Yeah, he got 11 submissions, 6 knockouts. But then you also watch him against Beneil Dariush, knocking him out on that left hook, just dropping dude to make him. If you watch that, he felt funny. He got hit so bad that he just fell down awkwardly. Now, he also can be hit. He's been dropped. But his 2 knockout losses are quality losses. Moicano is pretty dangerous on the ground, and Poirier dropped him. Dropped him a few times in that fight. Probably could have been sooner, but Poirier kept jumping guillotine. He uses some feints, but he also doesn't move his head. These guys are just going to be rock'em sock'em robots here because they are going to just keep hitting each other and nobody's going to move. It's just one guy's just going to stand here, the other guy's just, and then just going to keep going at it. Nobody's moving their head in this fight. It is going to be wild to see, but I am picking with a lot of confidence. I'm picking Benoit to get it done, probably on the scorecards or by submission, because we've seen Paddy submitted, although it was not in the UFC. Paddy was submitted early in his career. Let's look back. By Cameron Else back in 2013. Talk about 13 years ago. Obviously, he got much better since then. I don't think Paddy's going to be. I think this is going to be a dog walk by Benoit by decision. Next up, the main event of the evening, the return of Conor McGregor. He's taking on Max Holloway. Max is 27-9 in his professional career. He has a 69-inch reach, and which is strange because I just saw those stats. I'm like, wow, he's 69-inch, and Conor has a longer reach. He's a shorter guy by 2 inches, but I'm surprised. I really thought that Holloway's reach was better, honestly. He is listed as a boxer. He's also told everybody, I'm the best boxer. Anyway, he's originally in the lightweight division. This is up in weight to welterweight. Max has not been there before, but Conor has. Conor has translated his power, got knockouts in the first minute, has won by decision. He has wins at welterweight in the past. He is coming off of that layoff. The last time we saw Conor, he hurt his leg against Dustin Poirier in 2021, going 5 years. Now, let's not get too lost in the weeds here. Max Holloway has just come off of that decision loss to Charles Oliveira, where he was taken down, held down, grappled. He did, more importantly, he beat Dustin Poirier in his retirement fight before that. And that was a good showcase because Max Holloway, he's more of a volume striker. He's long, rangy, he keeps his hips back, his head forward. He's a bit hittable. That's why he says he has a good chin, because we've seen that he's never been knocked out until Poirier knocked him out. Now, but when he was going against Dustin Poirier, as I was saying, he dropped Dustin. And it's wild to me because, yes, you've seen knockouts. He has 12 knockouts in his professional career. But he's more of a volume striker. He has pitter-patter striking. He will light you up. He has knocked out Korean Zombie, knocked out Gaethje. He dropped Dustin. But all of his UFC career, he had a doctor stoppage over Ortega back in 2018. He did knock out Jose Aldo. This is impressive. I'm actually scrolling through it. So he has quite a bit of knockouts, but they're over time. If you look at any of these, they're not first round knockouts. That's what I'm trying to get at. He has some power, but it translates over time. Hitting you 100 times to get that knockout. Round 3, round 5, round 3, round 5, round 4. When do you see round 1? Oh, when Charles Oliveira had an esophagus injury, as it's listed. That was a first round knockout, I suppose. Now, Conor McGregor, on the other hand, is a powerful striker. This man has a karate-esque style. He floats in and out. He'll use some leg kicks. But he likes that left hand. 19 out of 22 knockouts. 19 knockouts out of 22. That's impressive. When he goes against strikers, he is the better striker. Although he was knocked out by Dustin Poirier. Can't count the second time, but the first time, he gets submitted more than he gets knocked out. His ground game is not the best, but he doesn't have to worry about that here because he's going against another striker, boxer. And I'm going Conor McGregor. The plus 190, he went all the way down. He was plus like almost 500. And I knew it was going to drop. I bid on it early because, of course, it's going to drop. Who's not betting Conor McGregor here? He even did a whole commercial saying how people are betting, how can they put me as an underdog, yada, yada. And I'm going with Conor for a few facts here. Yes, the 5-year layoff is concerning, but that's the only concern. That's literally the only concern. He has wins and knockouts in the welterweight class. Max Holloway has never went up to welterweight, and his power, he doesn't have that much power to begin with. Now he's going up in weight. How is that going to translate? How is his speed going to translate? Is he going to be faster than Conor with all this time off? That's a lot of question marks. But then also, I looked up stats to compare the power of Ilya to McGregor. And in prime McGregor years, they're comparable. And if Poirier can knock out Holloway, what can McGregor do? And yes, I said prime McGregor, but power doesn't just leave you with age. That's the last thing to go. So I'm taking McGregor here, possibly by knockout. I think he's going to be the faster, more powerful striker here. Max Holloway doesn't have the reach advantage either. It's crazy that I saw these stats. I'm like, he doesn't have the reach advantage? He seems like the longer striker, but he's not. He kind of puts his hips back to kind of push into it. You see my hands up here. Push into it. While Conor McGregor has effortless power. If you ever see him striking, he doesn't go full blown, throw his whole hip into it. He just whoop, just throws it out there. If he catches you, he catches you. And when he does, you go down. I'm going Conor McGregor by knockout. The return of the Notorious. Let's go. That's it for the betting breakdown for UFC 329, guys. Thank you for being here. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're tailing anybody that I'm following or that I'm betting on. And look out for my best bets and my bullseye bet at the end of the week when the props drop. I'll see you guys then.